welcome back to the Warframe Beginner's Guide to the Galaxy. Today we're going to be going deeper into the Kuva Lich system. Last week we created a Kuva Lich and we did a Kuva Flood. This week I'm going to go into the mechanics in more detail because frankly I was a little discombobulated last week and we didn't cover everything great. I do think that we covered the creation of a Kuva Lich perfectly last week, so you can definitely use last week's video to help you with that. That'll be the former episode of the Beginner's Guide. This week we're going to go over all the other things that are part of the Kuva Lich system to kind of give you a feel for how all of that works. So we're going to start off today by going for the whispers that you will need to uncover which Requiem mods you need to kill your Kuva Lich. So if we want to find whispers, there are a couple ways to do it. The main ones, though, are to basically go after your Kuva Lich controlled missions, and you'll know those missions by the fact that they have a red circle or effect around them. And when you click on them, you can actually see that there is, in fact, a Kuva Lich version like this one. Lid Tick controlled... Lid Tick, I love the Lich names. He's a Lit Tick, y'all. Lit Tick controlled territory defense right here. Defense is one of the better ones to do when you're trying to get whispers, because you acquire whispers by killing... what do they call them again? They're basically underlings for your Kuva Lich. It's when your Kuva Lich upgrades a regular Grineer into an underling. Actually, hold on a second. Let me double check and make sure we're public. We are. Okay. So we're going to go into Lid Tick Controlled Territory Defense. The reason we're doing this is because there are more Grineer that will spawn and come at us, which means there are more Grineer that can be converted into Kuva... I always forget the term for these. Kuva Larva or something of that nature. Anyways, they will gain one specific ability from your Kuva Lich, and when you kill them, you will get Whispers, which will help you unlock which Requiem mod you need to kill your Kuva Lich. You can spawn up to 10 of them, and your Kuva Lich itself can convert 10 additionally per mission, which is why defense missions and survival missions, things where you're going to have a lot of enemies, is generally the best way to get your Whispers. Now, when you go to actually kill your Kuva Lich, and that's your goal, you're going to want to look for things where you can complete the goal before your Lich gets there, like capture missions, things of that nature. I'm going to go ahead and put on Iron Skin here, and now we're just going to fight the waves of enemies. And right there, that red symbol, that is a Kuva. It's not a larva, it's called something else. I'm sure we'll get the name once it gets here. But for the moment, I'm going to focus on the defense part of this mission and just kill the guys that are coming in. With our wonderful Zorus, which is still ridiculously powerful. I mean, honestly, we could just stand on the point and do the Zorus explosion and probably kill everything. If the Zorus explosion wants to cooperate. There we go. I do think that they toned down the explosion on it. So here it is right here. They're a thrall, that's what it is. So when we kill this thrall, we hit X to execute them. You hear a little bit of whisper noise, and it says Requiem Murmur. I called them whispers, they're murmurs, they're the same thing basically. What they do is they give you a little bit of information about which Requiem mods you're going to need in order to kill your Kuva Lich. These guys are actually pretty tough right now, they're pretty tanky. I'm going to go ahead and roar here to give us some extra damage, and make sure I reapply my Iron Skin so that I stay alive while we fight these guys off. It is important to note that the level of enemies in the mission is affected by the level of your Kuva Lich, so if you level up your Kuva Lich, the enemies will get tougher. And you level your Kuva Lich up by stabbing them and not killing them, so if you know you don't have the Requiem combination and you stab them, you will level them up. However, in doing so, you also acquire, I believe it's 10 Murmurs, so it can help you uncover which Requiem mod you actually need to kill them, so it's a bit of a balancing act. And the more powerful your loadout, your kit is that you're using to hunt them, the more you can kind of rush things by just stabbing them all the time. For example, if you have a Loki or perhaps a Ivara that is capable of fighting in stealth, you can pretty much stab them non-stop, because once you do go to face your level 5 Lich, all you have to do is stealth up and beat on them with melee weapons, and you can kind of get away with whatever with them, and they're not super hard to take down. In this excuse me, in this instance where we don't have those options, it makes sense to try not to level up our Lich too much if we can avoid it, primarily because it'll be a lot harder for us to take them down without the ability to stealth so that they're not constantly doing damage to us, because as they level up, they do significant damage, and the Kuva Lich, in my opinion, is probably the first enemy you're going to run into in the game that actually has a pretty solid chance of just wrecking you in combat. it honestly feels a little bit different and uncomfortable when it happens because you're so not used to it based on the general game flow where you're taking out waves and waves of enemies, and then you run into this Kuva Lich and they will beat you down if you are not prepared for them or you don't have a trick up your sleeve to deal with them. So it's very important to keep that in mind when you're doing this. You really don't want to be stabbing your Kuva Lich if you can avoid it, if you don't have all the info and you don't have a strong kit for taking them out. There are some other frames that can kind of do some wonky stuff with them too. For example, if you have Limbo, you can always escape into the Void when you need time to regen armor and health, and then come back out to face off with your Lich when you're done with that. Gonna go ahead and put Iron Skin back up here, and I should probably Roar for the extra damage. I'm pretty sure that this is our index build for Rhino though, so our Roar is not going to last less about 30 seconds. That's pretty good actually. 30 seconds is pretty solid. Wave is cleared, and on to the next one. So far we have acquired, I think it's 2 or 3 murmurs. And as you can see, it doesn't really fill that bar up super quickly. But it goes faster than you would think. It's faster now than it was on release, I'll say that much for certain. And there we go, now we're getting the effect that we want from this, where it's actually taking dudes out. I guess my spacing was slightly off when I was chucking it before. No, our damage buff, our damage buff fell off. I think the damage buff is putting this over the top. There we go, that's what it is. The damage buff is giving this just enough extra damage to make it easy to clear the point. We do need to keep that up if we want to have that effect, though. And they are surviving more, so the Zorus is finally reaching the point where it's not totally OP. That being said, we're probably not running the most OP build ever on it either, and I know for a fact that I don't have a catalyst in it yet. At least I assume I don't. Frankly, just because I don't have that many catalysts on this account. Get wrecked, guys. Wow, that was just... And look at that, that was a viral explosion that just took out a ton of dudes. Once again, the reason we're doing this is because we will be able to kill our Lich and get an ephemera as well as a weapon. It's also worth noting, if you're trying to find a good way to make platinum, actually capturing your Kuva Lich if it has an ephemera and then selling it to somebody that wants that ephemera is possible via a special quarters that is available within the clans. And that can net you quite a bit of money. If you get one with an excellent weapon and an ephemera, you can sell that for, I mean, I've seen people sell them for like 1,500 plat, so we're not talking small amounts here. It is a decent way to make platinum. However, due to the random nature of what weapons you're going to get, at least you can pick your weapons, though. Like I said last episode, you can actually look at the Kuva Thrall you're killing and see what weapon you're going to get. Oh, there he just used his Kuva Lich ability. And dead. Give me that murmur. Anyways, so you can pick your weapon, but you can't really tell if they have an ephemera. Some people say you can, but I don't know if that's actually accurate. So when you get an ephemera plus a good weapon, that's a good time to try to sell them. Otherwise, you're not really going to get much value out of selling them, in my opinion, and it's not necessarily going to be worth the effort, because it is a troublesome thing to sell them. I'm actually not sure if you can sell Kuva Liches on Warframe Market, now that I think about it. Warframe Market is an excellent place to sell any of your mods or things like that, but I'm not entirely sure you can sell a Kuva Lich on there. Ooh, they are getting at this point now. We only have to make it through 2 more waves and we can get out of here, which is good, because we're probably going to do that. The enemies here are a little bit tougher than we're really ready to take out, so to speak, so I think we might have actually reached the point in the game where it becomes important for us to get our weapons and stuff better kitted out to be able to handle the content. That's huge. There's like different points in the game where you kind of reach a choke point, so to speak, where you need to change up your gameplay in order to match the current level of challenge. This is the first one we've been at in a long time with this new player account, so it's kind of exciting in a way. Speaking of exciting, we can do things like that to get our energy pumping up. That's pretty exciting as well, now that we have access to our full operator form and we have our first Xeneric abilities, which make a big difference to our ability to generate energy. That'll help us keep up both our Iron Skin and our Roar, which will help us to kill enemies and clear this point. So it's all win from there. Does look like we have one more Kuva Thrall on their way into the point. We're just going to wait for them. There's no point in abandoning the point to go after them. Did we just get a second one spawning right here? We did. That's really nice. So we got one there, and there's another one on their way to the point right now. So that's another Requiem Murmur. Hey, relax, buddy. Relax. All of you, relax. You're done. Where's the other one at, though? Kind of waiting for that last one to get here. I don't want to complete the mission until they're here so I can nab them. Looks like they're right here. Yeah, there's the other Thrall. Lit Tix Thrall is right here hanging out. We're gonna stabby stabby. Oh, okay, we stabbied there. It didn't quite give us the animation, but we got our murmur there. So we've gotten about a quarter of a murmur in this one mission on defense. Didn't take us very long at all. You know, that is one thing I actually noticed about the new mission UI, like the reward UI. It doesn't actually show you your time in mission anymore, which is kind of disappointing, because that was something I used to use as like a benchmark for progress, personally. Like, if you could check your mission time and all of a sudden you were cutting a mission down by another 2 minutes or something, that's, while seeming insignificant, it really is not. It's actually a pretty significant thing, in my opinion, to be able to shave off some time on your missions to get through stuff faster. Oh no, it does show it. It shows it. 9 minutes and 14 seconds right here. And in the process, we got a bunch of murmurs, which is very, very nice. Didn't get any incredible mods or anything, but that's okay. Alright, so we're gonna pop out of here now and take a look at our Lich real quick so we can see the progress we've got. Oh, there it is. It's not showing it up here, it's showing it down here. So it's not quite a quarter, but it's close. Not quite a quarter, but it's close. And obviously, if you group up with other people that are hunting their murmurs as well, then you'll get more Lich, or more Thrall spawns, because their Liches will spawn Thralls as well, and you get Whispers for them too. So it's definitely beneficial to look for a group that's willing to do murmurs with you, especially since you can usually find people that are just down to grind it, and they'll just go, 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 go. I want to take a look at our weapons here real quick. Less this and more our Zorus, since that's sort of the mainstay of our offense. We do actually have a Catalyst on here, which is good.
Safe and sound.
So this build is not super focused on heavy attacks, which is the build I think has the most benefit for this. I don't think we actually have some of the better mods for that. Yeah, it doesn't look like we do. Would be nice to have some better mods for that, but it does not look like that's the case. We could go ahead and add in some Blast. I don't know that that would actually be super helpful here, though. Yeah, I don't know how much we can actually turn this up. Punch Through could be good, potentially. But really, this is already in a pretty good spot as far as what we have available to us for it. Obviously, one of the biggest problems with the Zorus is it's hard to get a stance mod for it. There just aren't that many stance mods for discs. So yeah, until we get some different melee mods in here, we're not going to be able to really build this out much stronger. Let's try switching up our weapon here for a second, though. As much as I like the Heck, we still haven't gotten Scattering Justice because I just haven't been grinding on the Syndicate. So I'm going to take a look at the Bolter here. Oof, this could definitely use a Catalyst if we have one. Let's go ahead and see if we do. We do. Then again, now I'm looking at it and I'm like, do I really want to upgrade a Bolter? We pulled through that mission okay. It was a little bit tough, but we pulled through okay. Let's take a moment and consider if there's another primary we want to build out that we would be better off upgrading. Obviously, if we could build the Cernos Prime, I would go with that because that's pretty hefty. I'm gonna wait. We'll go ahead and put the Heck back on for right now. We were able to get through that mission fine. It was a little bit rocky, but it wasn't too bad. And like I said, I think we're actually using the Rhino build that is focused on... No, we're actually pretty solid all around on this Rhino build, if I'm being honest. We do have a Prime Continuity that I picked up that we could start using. But once again, that's not really necessary. We didn't use any of our Arcanes here. On Headshot Kill, Health Regen, that's okay. I think I'll just use the Ice and Fire ones. I took advantage of the Scarlet Spear event to get some of the better Arcanes on my main account, and that actually helps you out quite a bit. If you don't have that option, which most of you won't, unless they bring the event back, then it's a little bit different to do that. Plains of Eidolon will be at night in 1 hour if we wanted to do that, but we're obviously not doing that this episode. So the other thing is, if you stab your Lich, it also expands their territory. And if you attack these things that they control, it actually makes them angrier, which is tracked right here. Right now, he's indifferent. As he gets angrier, there will be more likelihood that he will appear in a mission and come after me. So that's just sort of the outcome of that. We could try a different frame. Maybe we'll take Hydroid in and see how that does. Now, I have heard other people say that with Hydroid Prime, instead of going for the build that I've got where we try to increase our range and basically power, they go for less range, like a range reduction, with the intent of being able to condense their damage in a small area. That's something that could potentially work rather well. Yeah, let's try this. Let's try Hydroid Prime. Obviously, Hydroid Prime is not in the same boat as our Rhino. Oh, no. He's ready to go. He is very, very well off. All right. So in that case, yeah, this should be pretty nice. I do want to take a look at the aura mods here real quick, since we don't actually need Energy Siphon anymore. Corrosive Projection is going to be a lot better here. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to see if we actually have the endo and stuff to raise our Corrosive Projection, because that is a very useful mod, especially at higher levels of content. The thing you'll notice at higher levels of content is that enemies have a lot more armor, and that's actually the most limiting factor in your ability to kill them. Now, I would consider replacing the Zorus with something else. If I was going to replace it with another weapon, it would probably be Broken War or the Broken Scepter. Broken War makes more sense in my opinion because it is one of the best slash damage weapons in the game. That being said, at least that's available easily in the game. That being said, I still feel like the Zorus is probably better, even though we don't really have any of the mods that take huge advantage of the combo count. So we'll potentially try the slash weapon out later. I do love the coloring on this Hydroid Prime as well. I know that's a little thing, but let's be honest, Fashion Frame is the end game. So we could go to Umbriel here for an Interception. We could go to here for a Disruption. That seems like a terrible idea. Disruption in the best of times is a difficult mission type, but in the instance of doing it as a Lich mission, that could be even more problematic. Interception will not be doable if we're going solo, more than likely, and we don't actually have access to this planet. So what we might do here is, instead of going straight for that, we're going to go look at our Kuva missions that are available. And we haven't done our Kuva Flood for today, so let's do that. Did that say Assassination? And it looks like it's on a system that we don't have access to. It's on Nama Europa. Where is Nama? Oh, that's quite a ways up. Is it a quick ways up? Not particularly. Okay, so we have the option of either unlocking that node or just going for something else. I'm just going to pick something else that I know we have. These are also lower levels, which means that they should be a little bit quicker, and while they're not guaranteeing us a relic, they do give us a chance to get one. And I'm not 100% on this because it's been a while since I've done a Kuva grind, because on my main account I basically got all the weapons I want, except for the Arcwing one, which I'm still looking for. But I got the hammer, and I have the Kuva Brahma, and I've got the Kuva Comb, and then the Kuva Nuker, which is very, very powerful. The rest of them I'm not super sold on anyway. That's part of the reason why I took the Ogress on here, is because I actually want to try it out and see how good it is. Oh, hello. What in the world is that weapon? I actually want to know now. Elder Cheese is using... Oh, it's the Shadu. I don't have that yet. Okay, that's why I didn't know what it was. Let's keep on moving. Oh wow, yeah, this is much, much easier, much, much faster. And as I said before, I can't say for certain, but I'm reasonably sure that the Kuva Thralls can spawn in these missions, and we can actually get some Murmurs as well. But I guess that will be one of those time can tell things. I think it just depends on whether this is a Kuva node for someone. Whatever, we'll go through the trap there. I don't care that much. Everybody else went through it too, so it's whatever. There we go. Where is this siphon located? No? No siphon here? Guess we'll just work on eliminating enemies then. I mean, that should be frankly pretty easy here, considering that we are fighting level 25 to 35 enemies. We have this. We could also charge our 1-up and just unleash it on an area to ensure a lot of damage to that area. We charge our 4-up and release it on an area to ensure that anything that comes in that area is going to get wrecked. Probably not the, now that I think about it, not the best frame for an elimination mission. or an extermination mission, because with an extermination you're basically moving through the level and a lot of Hydroid stuff is placed on the ground. Although, you know what we could do here that is actually pretty effective? We could use our dash to tear things up. You know, provided we find things to tear up. It looks like most things have already been killed here. Mr. Green is constantly going down. That's one of the pets, I believe. Why, hello there. Let's hop on up here. Looks like there's an enemy back here that we somehow missed. Let's go get that. Alright, dead. More enemies? Yeah, we can use our little dash thing here. That should do quite a bit of damage to enemies as we encounter them. It looks like the rest are this way now. Love how that marker moves back and forth all the time. And I get it, it's because one enemy had survived there. Why Nullifier? Nullifiers are the bane of your existence in this game, no joke. Absolutely the most aggravating enemies you can run into. You just die, thanks. Okay, let's get this guy up. Elder Cheese. I got you, Elder Cheese. We're gonna jump out to operator form here. We'll use that opportunity to get our energy regen going. But mainly I was doing that so that this guy would stop shooting me, because I was pretty low on health and armor. Which is once again the power of the operator mode. Being able to kind of cheese those health armor values a little bit by jumping into operator mode and giving yourself an extra health pool is extremely powerful. That is the true Elder Cheese right there. Alright, let's go over this way. Hi there. That was fun. I really do love the dash on Hydroid. I think that's one of my favorite abilities in the entire set Hydroid has. Which should be very interesting when they do the Heart of Deimos, because I'm curious what Hellmouth ability you'll be able to get from him. That being said, I will need to build a regular Hydroid instead of a Hydroid Prime, because frankly I just own 2 Hydroid Primes. Here we go, here is the Siphon. So all we need to do is kill the fat boys here, which we know we dash through them to make them vulnerable, and then we get them. Alright, one fat boy down. He actually dropped 50 endo there, that was pretty nice. And then when we see the arms of the Siphon go up, that's when it's time for us to kill stuff. There we go, they're pulling from this side. So we need to keep our eyes open for Kuva clouds from that side. Not really seeing any though. Okay. We missed it. It came in too quick. Darn. Sometimes it's like that. Like, it stays fairly hidden by enemies or obstructions, and then you don't see it until it gets there. So in this instance, I'm going to try to look around a little bit and see if we can find... There it is. How about no? There we go. That's one down. 3 more to take out. What we'll get from this is Kuva, and then there is a chance when we kill this Siphon for us to be able to get a Requiem Relic, which is another part of the system. After this, we'll go crack open a Requiem Relic, and that'll kind of cover the 3 different systems you have to use in order to complete the Kuva Lich kill. Can you come here, fat boy? Hi, fatties. Say hello to my little Zorus. How about no? There we go. Those clouds are really, really tricky to get used to watching out for, but once you get used to it, it's really not that hard. That was probably the most difficult thing for me when I first started doing the Kuva Lich system, was actually identifying the clouds. Because often they just look like particle effects that are associated with enemies, but once you get used to looking for them, they're pretty easy to pull out. Okay, we're not leaving. This Siphon has 1 arm left. We ain't going nowhere till the Siphon is done, guys. Come on, Siphon. Try to suck up your last bit of Kuva. Oh, there we go. It's doing its Kuva thing. Let's find our Kuvas. Come on, there's the Kuva cloud right there. Nope. Alright, it does not look like we got a Requiem Relic this time, sadly. just some extra Kuva. If you're curious what Kuva is actually used for, it is part of the, God, why does this always escape me? Probably because I don't use them as much as I sell them. It's part of the special mod system for the, oh, come on, brain. Why you do this to me? I'll tell you guys when we get out of here, let's put it that way. We gotta find a way to open this door. The terminal looks to be right here. Okay. I legitimately never use the special mods that Kuva is used for. I just sell them because they're more valuable to me as platinum. But they are extremely powerful mods that will allow you to push your weapon stats higher than you could push them otherwise, and that's why a lot of people want them, especially endgame players desire them because they're one of the only forms of progression left when you reach true endgame and you have kind of everything you could possibly want. This is the thing people sink time into, is upgrading these particular mods, whose name, once again, escapes me. Come on. I can actually check in here and find it. Riven mods, there we go. The term Riven escaped me for some reason. Oh, we did get a Requiem Relic. That's good. That's really good. Alright. So yeah, you can use Kuva in order to re-roll your Riven mod bonuses. And Riven mod bonuses will allow you to exceed bonuses available from any other mod in the game on a particular weapon. They can have anywhere from 1 negative to 2 negatives to 1 to 3 positive effects. If you re-roll them enough, you can end up with one that just has like 3 positive effects or 1 negative that doesn't matter very much. And that's why people farm Kuva, so that they can re-roll that and get something extremely powerful. In this instance, what we're going to be doing is we're going to go crack open some Requiem Relics here. In order to do that, we are going to have to unlock some nodes on the Kuva Fortress, though. So if you're trying to crack Requiem Relics, the only place to find the Kuva fissures is on the Kuva Fortress, which if you're trying to get all the nodes for arbitrations anyway, you'll have to do these. I didn't want to do this right away, but we're going to do it. Starting with an Arcwing mission makes it very, very unappealing to me. Koro here should have a Kuva fissure on it though, so as long as we can get through this Arcwing mission, we should have access to a Kuva fissure, which will allow us to open our Requiem mods. You really only need to unlock enough nodes to give yourself the option to open fissures. It does help to have all of them, but even if you unlocked like 3 of them, you would have a pretty good opportunity to get your fissures done here. These enemies are, like I said, some of the tougher ones in the game, generally because their level is a lot higher. The Kuva Fortress is also unique in the fact that you cannot destroy the cameras here. You cannot really subvert the systems here. Like, doing spy missions here without a specific stealth frame is actually extremely difficult. It's very, very difficult to subvert these missions. I thought this was supposed to be an Arcwing mission. What the heck am I doing? It said it was an Arcwing mission, but it doesn't appear to be an Arcwing mission, so okay. That's fine, I suppose. Alright, let's just keep going here. It is an extermination mission, apparently. Although killing enemies isn't seemingly increasing the enemy count on there, because I just killed... Oh, no, it is. It is. Okay. These guys are actually dying really easily as well. I'm actually surprised at this. I thought they would be a little bit tougher than this, to be honest. But once again, it does seem like the level is not quite as high on these as it would be for a mission where we actually had a Kuva Lich raising the level. I think that's where you're going to get those higher level missions that are actually a lot more difficult. And in all honesty here, I probably could have just used that. Here we have one of those undestroyable cameras, so we're going to do our best to avoid that while continuing to exterminate enemies. Hello there. Just go ahead and slash you up right quick. Now I'm curious if this will shut those cameras off. I've never actually taken the time to bother, but it would be interesting if you could do... No. No, it does not. Okay, so the camera is just bad news. And I believe if we get seen by that camera right there, the turret behind it will come at us, which is obviously not going to be a very good time. You don't really want that to happen. Those turrets are undestroyable as well, to my knowledge, and they will hurt you pretty bad. I love the noises they make when you're killing them. Okay. Wow, that sounded really sadistic. It's not that sadistic, it's just kind of funny the way that they do that, like, I forget what it's called, an Einhelm scream or whatever. Wilhelm scream, something of that nature. It's been a while since I actually use that term. So let's see. We can come out here, find some more enemies to take out. Apparently we're supposed to be looking for caches here as well, and I do think there are some pretty good rewards available from the caches on the Kuva Fortress. That being said, my priority here is just to complete this mission so that we can unlock the next node. I'm much less concerned with finding all the caches. I do think that finding the caches is a way to acquire some of the more powerful endgame mods that we would need. I'm just not, like I said, super focused on it for this particular mission because we're more interested in getting on to the next one. Looks like there's enemies back there, but I'm going to kind of keep pushing forward here and see if we can find some over this way. Doesn't look like it. Oh, the Thermia Fractures event is back. Very good. I still don't think I've finished that on this account. And I've probably reached the point in the game where even if I do finish it, the weapon we get from it isn't going to be that effective anyway. It'll be effective against Corpus enemies, actually. No matter how far you go in the game, the weapon, I think it's the Opticore Vandal you get from that, is very, very effective against Corpus throughout. It's because it has an electrical damage type, which means it's easier to get your magnetic damage, which will strip away the shields. And it's a chargeable beam, so you can strip them away and basically kill them in the same shot. But for Grineer, it's not the most effective weapon. And Grineer, for me, end up being the tougher enemies towards the end, and that's just because of how much armor they get. Now, provided you're using weapons that strip armor effectively, it's really not that big of a problem. But, you know, that really is a measure of are you doing that specifically. And as I said before, status types right now, the kind of general focus is on getting the viral status as well as the heat status procs. That's very, very good because the heat status proc will actually eat away at armor, and the viral status proc will increase damage to health so that once the armor is eaten away, those heat procs will actually do increased damage as well. This used to be different. There used to be a slightly different priority on which ones you would go for, but that was before slash damage was affected by shield gating, because slash damage ignores armor, slash proc damage ignores armor, but it does not ignore shields anymore. It used to ignore shields. Now it still gets affected by shields, which makes it so that it's not as powerful and preferential as it was previously. Hello there, friends. Let's go ahead and tear those guys up. How many do we have left? We're like... Okay, we're getting close now. We're getting close now. I don't know how this turned into an exterminate mission when it says that it's an Arcwing mission. Maybe it's just mistyped there. Ooh, hello. Neurosensor node, that's nice. These are not the easiest things in the world to acquire. Hello, friends. Let me introduce you to my Zorus, and then I'll just run through you with the water. Wow, that actually, like, thrashed a bunch of those guys. Didn't kill them, though. That's okay, we can finish them with this. That should help kill all those remaining enemies. That's kind of cool. You can actually rush them into a corner with the dash and then finish them off with your one. Because they're all grouped up now and very, very easy to take out. Okay, that's a Kuva Maniac. That guy can die. Hello there, Scorch. Get wrecked. Where is that Maniac even at, though? Oh! I may have just dove off of the edge of the ship. There he was. There he was. He came and jumped at me like a savage. And then he went out like a savage. Alright, keep on wrecking. We only need about 15 more enemies and we should be done here. Where are you guys at? Wasn't even near him when I detonated it. Like, so far away, I thought that wouldn't even have an effect. Oh, can we kill this turret? Okay, we can. That's good. Some of the turrets are destructible. The larger ones are not. If they don't have a health bar that you can decrease, that's pretty much your best indicator. That guy's got a Dracoon. What's up, buddy? Let me just wreck you up real quick. Thanks for the Eximus kill. Oh, hello there. I see you. Come back here. You don't get away that easily. Try to sneak up on me and unload with that turret. Alright, take that guy out. We're at 112. We need 7 more kills. Oh, and I just set off the cameras. That's not good. The level design here, actually, that just stood out to me for a second. The level design here has some really nifty little, like, traps and things. That was, like, kind of a Brown Betty trap where you step on it and it pops up in the air and explodes. Let's see if we can get up here. No. We didn't quite make that leap. It was a good attempt, but we didn't quite have the juice. Let's see if we can get up here now. Hello. Goodbye. We only need like 5 more enemies. It's just a matter of finding them. Now they're literally spawning behind us in places that we'd already been. We haven't seen a single cache yet. Like, I am trying to keep my eyes open for them a little bit, just because obviously if we get something out of it, it'll probably be pretty nice. But at the same time, the priority here is to finish this mission. Alright, let's get out of here. Time to go. Whoops. Oh, okay. No big deal, guys. Sorry. Phone is buzzing and I just needed to see what was up. Oh, come on. There we go. I still need to actually make ciphers instead of just manually doing that every time. I don't know why. Like, I'm just stubborn. I'm like, no, I'll do it myself. And I'm able to do them reasonably fast, so it doesn't affect me too negatively here. But it would make things a lot easier to just be able to press a button and have that end. Alright, we're out. Let's see. Didn't get anything incredible mod-wise. We did get some endo, which is pretty nice. It's only 15, though. 15 endo. The neural sensor was a nice pickup. Detonite ampule's not bad. It's not anything particularly great either, though. 1 second, guys. Let me... Just checking what's going on. Okay. So, let's go ahead and crack open a Requiem Relic now that we have the option to. We should be able to reach the one on Koro right here. This is an assault mission, and if we bring a Requiem Relic with us... Now, with these, you may want to upgrade them if you have the Echoes. We actually don't have the Echoes right now, but upgrading them is definitely ideal here. Even if you can only upgrade them a little bit, it's better to upgrade them, because what you don't want is you don't want this bottom tier of rewards. You want the middle tier rewards, because those are where all of your relics are. Yes, I'm sure. We're gonna go ahead and bring it anyway, though, because the chances are we'll get a group with other people and somebody will get, you know, a Requiem mod. That being said, like I said, your easiest method here is to collect one of each Requiem mod. Each Requiem mod can be used for 3 Lich kills before it runs out. So you can get a whole collection and that sets you up for 3 Lich kills, and then you have to start filling in your gaps. And let me tell you, that can be one of the most frustrating parts of Lich hunting, is just trying to fill in the Requiem mod gaps that you have. Okay. Let's grab this. We do have one other person with us here, so hopefully they brought a mod that was upgraded. I would have expected more people to do this, but I guess that people just aren't doing their Kuva Liches right now, or they're doing the other potential fissures instead of this one. Oh, this is a buddy door. Well, they have Titania Prime. Very nice. Very nice. Titania Prime gets around, y'all. She can move. Wow, the Athadai is not... I mean, I don't know how well I have it modded, but it's not super impressive right now. That was very, very low damage. I probably don't even have it modded. I think at one point I leveled it up completely without having a single mod on it. Which I wouldn't recommend. That wasn't a wise decision as much as it was like, oh well, let's just do it. Friends, please, please. Let me introduce you to our Lord Anzoris. Okay, let's try to put this in here. That should allow us to get through that door in just a moment. There's Titania. God, Titania is one of my favorite frames, guys, honestly. Just because of her mobility, she's able to get around. She can do a lot of different tasks very, very well because of that. Oh, there's one of those turrets that we can't kill, but do exist. Go ahead and hit this. Not really seeing a bunch of enemies get through because Titania is just killing everything that moves. Which is what she's good at. So, kudos to her. Okay, that'll open. Now we can start killing these guys. I don't know that we've gotten very much reactant here. There we go, there's some. The reactant does not seem to be flowing, but we're on 3 out of 10, so probably okay as far as getting through here goes. This turret cannot be destroyed. Oh, no, it can. Okay. Thought that was one of the indestructible ones for a minute. That would have not been very fun to be stuck there with an indestructible turret. We do need to hack this in order to go through the next door. Did Titania already get through? Apparently so. I'm assuming we got locked out because Titania got through there. Oh no, maybe not. Like, not watching the mini-map as much as I'm watching the screen at the moment, trying to get through these guys and make sure I collect any loose reactant. Collecting reactant can definitely be one of those things that draws your focus. There have been quite a few missions where if you get, like, a mission with somebody that's really killing things quickly, you can run into a situation where you don't actually collect enough reactant by the time you hit the end, so I'm kind of paranoid about that, and I generally focus on making sure I'm getting my reactant along the way. More than I look specifically at my minimap, although you can find your reactant on your minimap as you go, too. Okay, well, we're just gonna keep up with Titania, who is also at 6 reactant right now. Hi there. Alright, there we go. And then down we go here. Alright, you're finished. Let's keep on going. We know these guys are lit up, so they could potentially give us reactant. We're up to 8 now. That's pretty good. We should have our thing open here pretty quickly. Oh, and I actually went down. I'm gonna just get myself up because I'm not really worried about whether or not I lose affinity here. We're not really affinity farming on Hydroid. Although, actually, now that I think about it, I don't know that this Hydroid is capped out. I always do that. I always, like, accidentally reset one when I'm trying to complete the thing. Just kill you real quick. Wow. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about with that endgame armor. They have so much armor, it's actually just a pain to try to get through it. And we're not having an easy time of that at all. Okay, 2 out of 3 cannon systems are disabled. But more importantly, where is the rest of this reactant at? Oh, there's one over there. I'm gonna go towards that. Across the gap we go. Alright. We are 1 reactant off right now. Alright, it looks like we can go through here. Where in the world is our last reactant at? Like, Titania got way, way ahead of us. Oh, that could be it. This could give me my last reactant right here. We just gotta kill this dude. Did not do it. Alright. Anybody else want to drop the last reactant for us, please? Okay, let's go over here and deposit this. Or we could try to, but get knocked down instead. And I'm gonna jump out to operator form and bounce around here a little bit. Just to give myself a second to heal up. And there we go with our last reactant. Beautiful. Look at this dog. Savage Kuva dog right here. Savage, savage Kuva dog. Okay. We need to get one more part right here, which I'm gonna go after since I don't think Titania is going after this one quite yet. Got it. Titania does have the limitation that when she goes into her little pixie mode where she generally moves around a lot faster and such, she can't actually pick up items and carry them, so it is sort of... Oh, I just went in a circle there. So it is somewhat limited in that regard, which is why I went ahead and grabbed this. There we go. 3 telemetry keys are in. Now we just have to defend this thing, which we can actually do pretty effectively with Hydroid here. Have some tentacles. while you're at it, have a little rain. Tentacles plus rain equals us winning this mission. Let's go. Why you running? Don't run away. We ain't done with you yet. I love the little, you can hear the little pitter-patter of her guns though, like the tat-tat-tat-tat-tat, the DACA. The DACA is what we call that, that's right. It is the DACA of the Titania Dex Pixias. Just lovely. Okay, fire the cannon. Time to go. Let's go fire this thing. Gosh, these missions, I always forget how long these Kuva Fortress missions can be. It's kind of crazy. Check. Let's do it. Oh, here we go. Shoot it down. Shoot it down. There we go. Good sport, Titania dancing up. I actually like that fashion frame too. That's a really nice fashion frame right there. Destroy the targeting mechanism. Okay, we're still going. New objectives. After new objectives after new objectives. Alright. Is that all of them? No. Fuel injector is done there. What's left? Okay. Now we can leave. I'm just waiting for her to be like, new objective, Tenno. No, no, Lotus, stop. We're done here. We have done our work. It is time for us to go. And hopefully we get a nice Requiem mod for our trouble. If we just get Kuva or a Riven Sliver, that's going to be rather sad. Riven Slivers, if you collect 10 of them, you can use to trade in a specific location in order to acquire a Riven mod. Not sure how that actually works though, because I've never really done it, so it might be a specific type of Riven mod. There we go. Alright, let's get a Foss. Foss is a good one. Roiling, moaning this realm of ours, in madness lost shall die. Okay, so this is one of our potential Requiem mods that we might need in order to kill our Kuva Lich here. Gonna go ahead and grab that. And nice, got some Void Traces. That's actually, I've never noticed that that's what Void Traces actually were because they're usually displayed so small. And then we got Tellurium there, which is also like a harder to find sort of material that generally comes from the Grineer Sea Lab tile set, which I don't run very often if I don't have to. Pretty cool. Okay. So now we'll leave group, or they'll leave group instead. Perfectly fine. And if we go over here and we modify our Parazon, you'll see that we have our Foss. We can stick that in the first slot. I'm going to do that mainly because if we do run into our Lich, we want to be able to stab them with Foss just to test it out. And we've got just about 10 minutes left on this episode, so what I'm going to do is just find one more of our Kuva missions, and we're going to go do that. Umbriel here is Interception. That's going to be rough, but we can try it. Actually, Interception might work okay with Hydroid. Hydroid himself is pretty well geared towards Interception. Disruption would be relatively tough, but the Zorus might make it a lot easier. That's a tough call. We have a really, really weak selection of missions here for our Kuva Lich. We kind of need to stab him to unlock some more missions. I'm going to go for the Interception here, and we'll go ahead and do this. It might work, it might not. I hope it does, but Interception is tough when you're doing it solo. I do think that if we're going to do this solo with any success, that Hydroid is probably the best frame we have for it. Volt is a close second because of the speed boosting, but even with the speed boosting, you're not going to be able to hold a point. At least with this, we're able to hold potentially 2, maybe 3 points, depending on whether or not we have a Spectre. We don't. I should have grabbed one. Alright. What is interesting here is I think even if we fail this mission, we still get whatever murmurs are dropped from the Kuva thralls that we kill. You just die. Thanks. Okay. No, I'm gonna go this way. Go this way, go through here. More interested in finding this thrall at the moment than anything else we're doing here. Probably could have just snuck attack him there and, like, got the instant kill and the murmurs. Alright, there's some more murmurs. I really hope our Lich actually spawns this time. It's really unlikely that they will, but It would be nice if they did. Doing that to get our energy regen going, and then now we're going to go ahead and charge up our 4 and drop it so that it can hold this point for us. Now, if anybody tries to take A, they've only got to make it through our tentacle swarm. And then here, going to capture this point and lay down our 1. All right, lay the 1 down, and now let's see if we can go capture C in the meantime. And we're going to have to keep rotating from point to point here in order to maintain control. But the upside is, provided we actually drop our abilities on these points, we should be able to hold them for a reasonable amount of time. We're about to lose A, so the trick here is that since we're losing A, we want to go ahead and leave our 4 here and move on to D. This is going to be a very, very interesting... Oh, D and C are actually really, really close to each other. So if we were able to maintain one other point and D and C, that would probably be the best overall plan. Here we go. I'm going to drop our 1 there so that it is protected. Then we're going to move on to A, where we're going to run into a dead end, which will severely reduce the amount of time I have to get to A before we lose a different point. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. There we go. There's A. Let's get it. Let's charge our 4 up right away. We can't because we're out of energy. Do our little swap here. Why are we still draining energy? You guys see that, right? Okay, there we go. Well, we've got A now. We don't actually have the energy because I wasn't dashing. I was just switching into operator form and not dashing, which is not going to give you that regen. Mistakes were made. That'll have to do for right now, and we're going to go back to D and C because we know D and C are very close to each other, so we can potentially clear one and then the other. Hi. Let me just introduce you to my friend the Zorus. This is where we are probably going to fall behind on the Interception mission right here. Because I didn't keep our energy up, we are going to kind of get wrecked here. The enemies take way too long for us to kill to efficiently recapture a point. Maybe not. Okay. Maybe I should just not be charging these now that I think about it. Let's get this point and then head back to C. Okay, let's get C. And then if we can get C and rush over to B, that'll put us in a pretty decent spot to get back in this. Okay, we'll just put that down. And in this instance, we may actually go like that while we're traveling, just to help give us some more energy regen. We can also speed travel with our operator form like that to get things, or get to places a little bit quicker. Okay. And I really need more efficiency on this frame. That's what I'm seeing here. More efficiency would allow us to place things a little bit cheaper, which would then allow us to control these points a little bit easier. Let's see if we can get back through here. Nope. Nope. Get off there. This is our point. We control this. Nope, nope, nope. All of you get off my point. Now, the main thing to remember when you're trying to defend these points is that you have to keep people off of these terminals. Okay, so we at least control 2 points right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down, and that should help us to retain this point while we move over and try to capture this point as well. And if we can get this one, that'll get us 3 and we're back in this thing. This is definitely not the most ideal scenario here, and I do need to void dash here so that we can start getting some energy regen going. I won't be able to leave a lot of ability here, but I can put something there to provide a little bit of cover while we come back over here and try to A, get our murmurs, and B, kill anybody that is at that terminal. No. Bad. Get away from the terminal. Okay, so far we're holding all right here. There we go. Oh, we lost it. Darn. We had this and then we lost C because I didn't see that guy over there. Okay, well, we're trying. We're trying. We still get a couple murmurs out of this even if we fail. But we're gonna hope that we don't fail here. But in order to not fail, I need to get back on C and capture it. Okay, so we have C, we have B, we need D. I gotta get back over to D, like, immediately and capture it. Okay, here we go. And this guy has to die, because he is actually preventing us from being able to capture D. Okay, there we go. Let's get it. Come on, get D. We can still do this. Now B is under threat, and that's actually a way bigger problem, because B is further away. It's gonna take... Oh, nope. No. You leave C alone. This is probably where we lose it right here, is on B, because I can't capture B fast enough, I don't think. Okay, I'm gonna use that to knock them around. Ah. Alright. It is what it is. We failed the mission ever so slightly because I didn't use the dashes properly. However, we do still get all of the murmur progress that we collected here, which was only 2. I wonder if that'll actually clear the node or not, though. I don't think that'll clear the node. I guess we'll find out here in a moment. We're really just suffering from the limited number of nodes that are available with our Lich on them. So if we take a look now, it did not clear the node. I hate when you get that. Like, it's easier once you level them up at least once, because then they will go to more, you know, varied nodes. Having Disruption and Interception be our only nodes isn't very efficient. If we did have somebody else we were running these with, like a friend, a clanmate, or even just somebody from looking from group, that would make that a lot easier as well. But we did pretty good for solo Interception. We actually almost got that. If I had been smart about using our Void Dash properly, that would have worked out fine. I just made a slight mistake and it cost us that mission. But like I said, we did still get the murmurs. We should still see some progress on that. Yeah, a little bit of progress there because we only got 2 out of that one. But that is essentially the different pieces of farming a Lich. I'll probably work on getting some more murmurs here to unlock our first symbol off camera, and then we'll finish this Lich off on camera so you guys can see how the actual process of killing your Lich goes. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!